Hello everybody, welcome back to another Shadowverse Worlds Beyond video. Sorry I haven't been uploading in a while. I've been kind of busy with stuff and Guild War, and there's hasn't been like a lot of content like after like the new patch, but since there are tournaments that are being played right now, a lot of decks are actually emerging and the meta has actually shifted to like a very wide range. I think that every single craft right now has a strong deck. One of the decks though that kind of fell off a little bit has been Evil Forest. And like what I like to do, right? Like whenever Evil Forest falls off, since I just don't like mirrors, I kind of wanted to like revise it in a way that it can work in high elo. And Lord and behold, we are back to Beyond, ladies and gents, with Evo Forest. But I'm not just running any other Evo Forest. I'm actually running a variant that's very tempo heavy. So as you can see over here, right? Let me just shrink myself a little bit. All right, as you can see over here, it is kind of like a pixie slash like a Evo Forest deck. The point of this is to not have a weak turn. Like you need to have strong turns every turn in order to like push damage and offset the Satanid nerf. All right, you can also play a version of this deck that has Satanid still, but I kind of prefer to play it in a way where the game could potentially end before it even gets to a point where Satanid would have been useful. All right, so one of the biggest weakness of this deck, of course, is no healing, but bear with me. This deck, there's only one job that this deck does, and it's tempo. Right? Use your evolves aggressively. Use your whiteboards very efficiently, and you can beat a lot of matchups. Like the best matchup that I've been targeting with this lately has been Egg Portal. All right. Other decks can be beat as well, like Crystal Spawn, like Chess, right? Like you can beat that deck as well. You can beat Enhanced Sword if you get a good line, but the matchup that you're definitely gonna be targeting with this is Egg Portal. So yeah, that's gonna be like that's gonna be like your preferred matchups, right? Mirror is also fine, but it's fine if they are running the vanilla version. The vanilla version doesn't really have a lot of proactive plays. Meanwhile, this version has a bunch of proactive plays. All right, so let's talk about some of the additions that I put in the deck. Of course, Fair Fencer is like a puppeteer. It's really strong turn 2. Makes your Kindly Executor turn 3 a lot stronger, right? So typically, I want to coin Fencer into Kindly, or you play Fencer into Kindly plus a Fairy. It's really strong, right? Miroku on curve is really good, of course, right? You already know that. Sincha is specifically for going first. Now, like this card, the Motherly Forest Dweller, is really good, but you can't really play her on turn 4 if you go first. Meanwhile, Sincha can have a really strong board presence, force out like a removals, or force out situations where a fairy would stick, right? That could change to another Sincha and snowball the game, right? But yeah, the best thing about Sincha is it's one card and it creates three things on the board, so it's really strong against Lishena and all that stuff. Titania I put here. I'm actually contemplating of removing her, but Dragon has been really popular lately with the intimidates and stuff, and we don't really have a lot of answers to intimidate, so I heavily suggest slotting a Titania or slotting in a Fildao, one or the other. But I went with Titania because I kind of want to like continue the team with the fairy, like spam and all that, and it allows me to like make turns that I wouldn't be able to do since my hand size is gonna be too low. So yeah. Alright, another interesting thing that I added is actually a one of Antoria. Now Antoria is for making winning games a secure win. So let's say you are ahead in the board state. There's a bunch of fairies that are sticking, there's a bunch of units that are sticking. One of the strongest turns that you can do is Miroku, recover 2 play points, play a fairy, recover 2 play points again, and then play an Antoria. Like Chess can't deal with it, Dragon can deal with it, I guess. But it's still gonna be pretty annoying for them if they don't have Galmu Crest. Enhanced Sword is gonna struggle a lot with the barrier like board. And yeah, like the only deck that I think that doesn't struggle with Antoria is actually Egg Portal, just because what you call this Congregant exists. But typically Antoria you wanna play on curve. B- but like I said, like typically this card is for dodging like AoE removals, making sure that they're being greedy with the AoE removal, so they let stuff stick and they want like a bigger cash out with their Salefa or something, and then like boom, Antoria, like suddenly they can clear. All right, so that's what Antoria is for. Skipper, of course, is just really good. An answer for all of the an answer for all of the bad board situations that you run into. Maybe it's Ward Haven, maybe it's you're gonna play into a Noel against Enhanced Sword, stuff like that. Like Skipper's just the goat. I'm not gonna lie. And of course, just like the other, just like the main reason that we even made this deck is really good against egg as well, right? Because it can clear Lishena while also sticking a full board. Bale is added because Bale is really really good with Altenia, because typically Altenia can only clear 3 things on the board. Typically people will do this thing where they make a 4 board or 5 board. Bale will actually be able to clear like a 4 board. You can even clear a 5 board if you manage to play Bale, Altenia, and Alfimir. And that's another card that I added. Alfimir just allows you to deal more damage, and most importantly, be able to ward. It gives +1 HP on the ward option. So that means if you play a bunch of Spring Broom fairies like Albert is suddenly denied. They can't Albert. They have to play Golden Knight or something like that. And of course, the Arya, I love Arya in Evo decks because it allows your like Spring Boom players to hit face. So any damage that was like gone from Satanid, like it's kinda still there in a way, in a form of like Storm Pixies, and Storm Pixies synergize really well with stuff like Sencha, stuff with like Alfemir, and of course your evil points. But yeah, this is just a tempo evo deck. It's not really anything special, but the way you execute it is where it gets kind of complicated. All right. So today, since I haven't uploaded in a while, I decided to showcase the deck with the recorded footage instead of stream footage. Yeah. So these 3 matches, I chose these 3 matches because 2 of these games were against high elo opponents in the ladder, and this is gonna be chess the Runecraft, Swordcraft is gonna be enhanced, and Portalcraft is going to be egg. So these are 3 matchups that I think a lot of like players struggle with. All right, like the one with Paper Torp is actually a match from the grand finals of the recent Ding Dong tournament that I actually participated in and I won it. So yeah, banger day for me today. Got beyond and also won the Ding Dong tournament. All right, first off, let's start with chess because this is the most popular deck by far in terms of being competitive. All right. I guess we can like increase myself a little bit this time. Alright, so for Mulligan here, since I go first here, I actually decided to keep Skipper, right? And since I have 11 2-drops, I have a really high chance of getting a 2-drop. But if you're not comfortable for gambling for the 2-drop, you can just go keep Sincha. Just keep Sincha probably in the situation because you're gonna need a strong turn 4. Sincha dodges like stuff like Unleash. Yeah, it dodges stuff like Unleash. It might force a Sage Light. If you manage to force a Sage Light, Altenia's OP. Alright, so first off, I just try to play out my cards on curve. I played my area here just so my Sincha can stick more than 1 unit. Yeah. So with that, the chess guy already played he already played like what, 2 Stormies? Like 3 Stormies already. So that's really good for me because that means cards like the Grandma is suddenly pretty strong. Now we play now I played like Skipper over here. Skipper Super Evolve doesn't really have a lot of value against chess because, you know, like a fairy clears any of the chess pieces anyway. So as you can see over here, after playing 1 Skipper, my bail's already free. I actually decided to not go for like Arya this game right away. I instead decided to play Antoria because, like, if you look at here, right, like I could have played Arya here and then evolve, which would have been what, like 2 damage plus 2 damage, I guess, and activates the crest. But I was thinking, hey, like what's something that could make sure that I don't get Sage Lighted cleared, or at least make the shimmy turn very weird. So I was like, okay, I have a 0 cost Bale, can use that to remove, and then I could just refund 2 play points with the Miroku. Then I played Antoria, and so I can actually evolve aggressively like this. That's another thing. Like, don't be afraid to use your evolve points. It's yeah, like it's kind of like the point of the deck to be able to like just spam your evolves. We might be running out of gas here, but these board states are really hard to deal with. Right, good play here by the Runecraft player. But as you can see, since we played Antoria, we managed to stick. We managed to stick like 2 fairies here. Then now we can snowball out of control now. Still very clearable for him, but you know, this is still like a winning position for us. Having the Sandalphon in our hand makes evolving aggressively feel really nice as well. Right, he's probably going to play Kalgi here because he has 11. Oh, he doesn't actually have... He actually didn't get to play it here. And to be fair, he didn't get to tutor. He didn't get to tutor much here. So over here, I actually super evolve fairy now. This is not really the best play in the world, I would say, because like this board state can get cleared by Sage Light. But I'm trying to threaten lethal as early as I can. You do not win chess in the outvalue game. So how can you beat them then? The way I like to deal with chess crystal spawn is basically making them use their spell early. And they won't use their spell early unless you threaten lethal like that. So right now I'm kind of like running out of gas. Like, but we have like Greninjita though. Greninjita is gonna be one of your only sources of draw, by the way. So you can't take it for granted. Whenever you get a Greninjita, probably wanna use it for draw. So for this, like, didn't have to use an evolve point to answer like super evolve, so that's pretty nice. Unluckily for me though, he gets to hit my face and like evolve Kalgi here. Yeah. So right now, this is actually a winning line for him. But his hand is kind of thin. So in this situation, I'm probably gonna send it with Altenia. Yeah. Like Altenia here is gonna do like 2 damage by herself. And then the fairies will do another 3. So that's 5 damage in 1 turn while building this board. This is all because of the Arya Crest. The Arya Crest just allows me to make this type of plays. So even though I don't have Satanid, I do a lot of damage. Alright. You see what I mean? Like, this guy is being forced right now to just keep using his spell over and over, even though it's not like 20 plus fate. Because it's his only choice. And then, exactly though. Kupiton, juiced up after Altenia. Right, and then Sandalphon, 13 HP. Didn't roll enough. So as you can see over here, right? In the hand, I even had Bale, so even if he had the big board, I can still answer it. Bale is really, really good as well for securing Sandalphon because it's a 0 cost. It's a 0 cost card, so yeah. All right, that's the first replay, right? Just remember the point of this matchup is to like for you to play in this matchup, you have to play really really aggressively early game, right? Like you cannot afford to let them tutor early. If possible, you clear the board and hit face every single time. Force them to use their spell early. Force them to like use their Kalgis when they don't have all three Kalgis in hand, right? The earlier you spike, the better, so chess doesn't get to set up, right? Like that's the thing about tempo decks. The point of tempo decks in this patch, I think, is to take advantage of a lot of decks being setup decks. So yeah, another setup deck is Enhanced Sword, and Enhanced Sword is pretty strong. So this is gonna be my replay versus Enhanced Sword. Yeah, for this one, I just kept Arya. This is kind of unlucky, but you know, as long as you have the Arya, you should be on like a good like position in terms of pushing damage. All right, got bailed out by the top deck here, banger. Right. So in this situation, like you have a crossroads here. Either you push for a wider board with Titania, or you top deck a kind. Anyways, but yeah, like you're in a crossroads when you're in this situation. Whether you do a weak turn, which is fine. A weak turn here is fine. So you can coin your Arya. So in this situation, I do my Titania, coin Arya. Right? Like Titania's not really the strongest turn in the world in terms of making a board, but it does allow you to sneak in fairies with your grandma, sneak in fairies with your like kindly plus spring bloom, sneak in a fairy like on a turn 6 skipper, stuff like that. In this situation though, I get the most ideal situation, which I get to like play Arya on curve. This is like ideal for this deck variant. So right now, I think it's gonna be able to Ymetra here. Turn 6, pretty early with the flag as well. That's kind of banger for him. This is a really hard board state. So in this situation, I think kind of have to Kupitan. Yeah. Either Kupitan or Skipper. Oh, there we go. Skipper, you target like if possible, you wanna kill as much units as you can before you Bane, because these Bane units are really important. These Bane units kinda make the Noel answer. Like typically they want to answer with Noel, but if they answer with Noel, they have to trade into Bane fairies. So as you can see over here, he is not gonna be able to heal. He's not gonna be able to heal here. He's left at 12 HP, so that's kind of like dangerous territory for him already. Since we have Arya Crest, we can do this. And we don't even have to evolve Altenia here. So, like, we still have a super evolve, you see? If we played Noel here, would have been like a similar thing. Alright? Plays his Noel now. But it's kinda too late. I already did like a lot of damage. And Noel is forced to not super evolve the drain here because he has to hit the Altenia. Alright. Now our hand is... We burned like our Sandalphon, so yeah, like just be careful about hand management. Over here I super evolve. I'm pretty sure I super evolve here to activate the Kupitan tree damage. And then the Alfheim here. Going face. I did a misplay here though. I forgot to hit the 4-1. So that's my bad. In this situation though, I was like thinking whether or not to hit the 4-1 or hit face. So I did a misplay here. I didn't choose neither. So I think it's actually better to hit face here because he's gonna be 3 HP, which means he only needs 1 ping from Sandalphon and 1 fairy. because we're gonna have area evolve next turn. So hitting face here was a lot better. You won't die to Albert here from 20, since not only do you have a 5 HP ward, because Alfheim is a really good spell, right? Not only that, but you also you also don't die even if he does Albert here, because Albert's gonna be what? Albert's gonna be 14 damage plus 5. That's just 19. So since I'm full HP here, even if he gets to Albert me, that's 19 damage. So very, very like safe from Albert. So my mistake here is getting punished because he's like all inning the board right now. He's also playing barrier, so I don't like sandal. Don't get the sandal for now. But if you make a misplay like that, like me, like don't mess around, just send the Sandalphon here. Yeah, you wanna just send the Sandalphon, hope that you ping him twice, and then like fairy storm the face. Alright, so hit first with the area to remove the barrier. And then that's lethal right there. So if I didn't misplay, he would have just died to the Sandalphon. There was actually a lethal line of Titania plus 2 fairies, I think. Yeah, there was actually a line of Titania 2 fairies if I did hit him. So let's take a look see here. So he's 3 HP here, right? He's 3 HP. And like since it's 3 HP, I would have had this situation where I just AR Titania evolve into this, and then like Titania's gonna spawn 1, and then I play 2, right? I can even play 3, I think, if I have the mana, and I can just hit all face 3 damage. So you know, like without that, like without that, like this was already lethal if I didn't make the mistake. But since I did make the mistake, I needed to get lucky here, which I did. But yeah, banger game. Kind of like pushed me to like the very limits of the deck. And all right, so that's enhanced Swordcraft for this matchup. Just remember, like if you can force out the band of princesses early, since not a lot of people run 3 of it, like do it. I bet if you're a sword player, I suggest you times 3 your band of princesses. It's really good into this patch because people are going wide now. So yeah, like that's how you want to play against Swordcraft. Alright, now, last replay that we're going to cover before we end is going to be Paper Torf, like a Portalcraft match. This is the grand finals of the Ding Dong tournament. So, I was giga sweating on this one. Alright. This was like post like Beyond climb that I did today. Alright, so this is kind of a banger hand, right? Any time that you see a 2-drop plus Miroku, lock it in. Like literally just lock it in. But if you get a situation where you draw like a Fairy Fencer, you always want to play the Fairy Fencer first, right? And you might be thinking, oh, like whatchamacallit, like, oh, why Fairy Fencer first when I could play kindly into the Spring From Flurry. The point here is to bait out their removals for the Spring From Flurry fairy, right? And this way, of course, you can contest 2/2s because kindly cannot contest 2/2, so you can kill goblins with it. It's a bunch of stuff that you can do. So over here, there was a bunch of plays that I can do here. I could play Sincha to make it hard to clear with Lishena. But in this instance, I decided, yo, if he's hitting my Miroku with a puppet, even though he's not dead, like maybe he's gonna try to kill it with a puppet like next turn. So my mind was like, okay, I'm going to play a ward instead then. So if he does play Lancer plus Puppeteer, like he has to have both. But in this situation, he has Gilnelis. He manages to heal 4 here. It's already 14 HP turn 4, so yeah. Then he coins Puppeteer. That's actually a really big W for me. So you might be saying, oh, but he he think your board really well though. Like, how come you're happy with this? I'm happy with this because not only did he use his coin, but also he didn't result in a big board after it, and also that is an evil point down. Every time an evil point is forced out of egg portal, well, that's an evil point that's not going to Leshena, which means no egg setup. All right. So over here, I'm trying to play around Leshena. So I kind of wanted to do this thing where I play like a Force Driller into Fairy. It's also a nice thing to do because I have Eriar and Graningita on the hand. So you see this? Another evolve that is not only Shena. Alright, so that's massive right now. That's super massive. Right. He manages to clear this, I think. Nah, like a Fairy Sticks. So Fairy Sticks here. Alright, now I have multiple options here. And I decide to go wide. By the way, a tip. Right, in this situation, you might be saying, oh, like I trade this into this, right? No. You want to play around, if possible, you want to play around the 5 mana card. Whatchamacallit? The Artisan. Yeah, the Artisan. The Artisan will do 3 damage to the board. So anything that's like above 3 HP, you want to preserve it if you can. Yeah? And another thing that you might wanna remember is Sincha actually also buffs Spring Bloom Fairy, so that's kind of neat. So yeah, kind of neat. So in this situation, I'm already content with a 4 board, right? I don't really need to have a 5 board. Because if he plays like Artisan here, he's gonna be forced to evolve. Yeah, he's gonna be forced to evolve, which is good. You see this? He used a super evolve on a Leshena, right? So what does this mean? He used a super evolve on Leshena that is -1 super evolve that could have been used for Aksha, could have been used for Odin, could have been used for Gilnelis, could have been used for Imari, but he used it on Leshena. Why? Because we forced him to evo like defensively the entire game. He has to set up his eggs no matter what. So like in this situation, super evolving Shena wasn't even too bad for him. And look at where we at right now. A lot of damage free on the board. So in this situation, you could either super evolve this fairy to activate the fairy fencer right here, and then Alfame. That's one option here. You could also just go for a wider board with Titania, because Titania, you can super evolve that, and then like you can super evolve like Titania, but this is from the draw from Graningita, so you probably can do it. Yeah, you can do it here. I went with the Graningita because I kind of want to like evolve, because I think I'm on 6 evolves or after the Graningita. I mean, like after the Graningita plus the fairy evolve here. Let me just double check. Oh no, it's only after the Graningita. Alright. So over here, I'm keeping a 4 board here. I did not want to hit this like puppet because I want him to play defensively. I am trying to get him to evolve Gilnelis, stuff like that, right? But he doesn't even have Congregant here. Like he manages to heal for 3 here. I'm actually getting chipped down right now. But as you can see, right? The amount of resources he needs to use just to survive this board stage is really insane. Alright. So over here, you don't really need to super evolve here. But I kinda wanted to super evolve. And my reasoning is simple. That's the reason why I super evolve here. Like if I normal evolve here, it becomes I think it becomes a 9/9, I think. Yeah, it becomes a 9/9. And if I hit the 5/7, that puts me at 4 HP, I think. And 4 HP is way easier to deal with on AoE. And I kind of and I'm like thinking at my line over here. I'm looking at my line and I'm like, okay, I want to push one more damage. And I also like don't have any reason to not super evolve here, in the sense that yeah, my hand is already my hand is already free bow, you know, like it's a bunch of free bow or like Alphimir. So I went with the super evolve here instead. Probably still has a clear. He can do what? Transform into Chaos Legion or transform the Artisan, or I guess in this case just Kongrika. So he has no more super evolves. All you have to do here is deny bombs and you should be pretty good. Alright, so in this situation I got a little lucky. I mean, I'm almost happy to my deck anyway. Right? The Alphimir can heal us. So in case you guys didn't know, Alfame, right? This card right here, like can draw a card and heal. That gives +1 to everyone in Rush or give +1 health in Ward. Since I'm an evolved deck, it's easy to get the SBA 15 version of it that gives every single effect. So I got to heal here a little bit. I got to ward my fairy so I can't get Odin. And you know, most importantly, I get to push damage to his face here. That's 8 damage to the face while clearing, while warding, while having a 5 board. So this is kind of like impossible to deal with. Like you can't heal a lot while dealing with this, because you're gonna be forced into like artisans, congregants, stuff like that. Alright. So you can see over here, right? Now he's just trying to block for lethal here, but it's already like giga over. Like Kopitan does 3 to the face and Sandalphon's juiced up and also have a Bale, right? So Bale, Kopitan, Sandalphon, no board is safe. And yeah, like this game actually got me like at the grand finals dub over like a paper torp. He was a really good player, but this matchup is just really favored towards Tempo Evo Force. All right, with that said, before I end the video, Mulligan, when you're going first, try to keep Sincha and 2-drop plus Miroku. If you're going second, you can keep Motherly, Miroku, 2-drop. Alright? If you already have a good hand, let's say your Mulligan is starting is like what? A Fair Fencer, a Miroku, a Sincha. Like the 5th card could be keeping for Arya. I mean, if you get Arya, you want to keep her anyway, because Arya is just really, really good on curve. Pushes 3 damage even on a normal evolve. So yeah, banger deck. This is definitely not the easiest deck to play because, not gonna lie, power level's not like that high, but there's a lot of maneuverability, like based on how you read the opponent's hand. So yeah, like if this doesn't work for you, that's fine. You know, like just do know that if you want to perform with this deck, just like how me and like other players do, you gotta grind it out, you know, like you kind of have to grind it out, because like not every deck kind of plays itself. So you know, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them down below in the comments section. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like the video, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, and have a nice weekend, everybody. Peace. Bye bye.